Hello, hello, everybody. It's your boy, Sean McLaughlin at Options Sean on Twitter. What's today? Today's Thursday, September 5th, 2024. It's a holiday shortened week. We're back. Summer is unofficially over. I don't know about you guys, but for me, Labor Day weekend, that's the end of summer. I know for many of you who live like in the Northeast or the East Coast, school just starts like this week. For me, for my son, school started a few weeks ago. We start actually in like mid to early August, which is kind of weird. But officially, unofficially, Labor Day marks the end of summer, and now trading gets back into full swing. And boy, we've had an interesting week to start off the back end of the year, certainly. So we'll have that to talk about. But before we get into anything here, of course, I have to drop the old disclaimer that everything we discuss is for educational purposes only. I'm showing you what I'm doing with my money, and I hope that you learn a little bit from watching my process and seeing how I think through things. Now, if you have any questions, by the way, as we're going through all of this, drop it in the old chat there on Twitter or on YouTube, excuse me. I'll do my best to see your questions and answer them if it's relevant to what we're talking to. So just want to get that out of the way. So let's start here. We got the VIX chart. VIX has kind of been telling the story here. You can kind of tell when we got off of holiday trading, right? This little green candle, September 2nd. I don't even know why there is a candle for September 2nd. We were closed that day, right? But you can see here, this big green candle on September 3rd is when traders came back to their desks. And I don't know what changed really, other than people are getting active in the market. But we've seen a volatility, we've seen a spike in volatility that's kind of hovering. We're holding into the 20s right now. I'm not saying that that's alarming, but it's something that we should be paying attention to. It certainly speaks to the fact that it's a difficult trading environment, right? It's very easy right now to be getting shaken out of good positions. We've certainly seen it. We had a couple exits this week, which we'll talk about. But it has me definitely looking for new trades that are a little bit uncorrelated to at least to the positions I already have. We're kind of tech heavy and you know, riding trades that have been winnings from sectors that have been winning, but I'm looking for some exposure in some different areas just to offer some some diversity, some diversification. But let's talk about it's the holiday shortened week, so there is not a whole lot to talk about as far as portfolio action and new positions, but we do have two exits to talk about. First, let's talk about GE. We've been in this one since late June. We basically bought the long December 170 calls. That was the trade that we wanted. That was the position we wanted, but we financed that purchase with a short bull put spread in August options, as well as short calls in August options. Thankfully, we did that. Those two positions that we collected credits for to help reduce our net cost of those December 170 calls, those expired away worthless. Actually, I covered them for 5 cents right here. You could see it back on, I think it was August 9th. We covered both of those positions for 5 cents. So the 932 that we paid on day one and add the 10 cents that we paid here, our net exposure here was $9.42. Well, guess what? GE came down and closed below our stop loss level, which was 165, and I was able to get out of those December 170 calls for 960. So the trade didn't work out, but we actually escaped with a very tiny, small profit. Not the profit we were looking for, of course, but hey, that speaks to the power of sometimes getting creative and lowering your cost of participation by selling premium against the positions you want. So in this case, like I said, we wanted the December 170 calls, but we lowered the cost by selling the put spread and the August 180 calls against it, just to manage our risks. And boy, I'm glad we did that. We ended up actually exiting this trade for a small profit, where had we just bought the December 170 calls, we definitely would have lost money on that trade. So we're out of GE, small credit, small profit. We'll take it. Next one is VXTX. Actually just got out of this just about a half an hour ago. This is a position that we bought, we got into in mid-July. We bought the September 80 calls for 425. When we got into September, right when we were approaching the, the end of August here, we decided to roll the calls forward. My analyst team liked the trade. They liked it as a fresh setup. So we wanted to give ourselves more time. So we rolled those September 80 calls into November, same strike, paid another $4.45 to do that. So now we had $8.70 of net exposure in this trade. Unfortunately, we had two stops in this trade. We had a stop loss level, which is 56. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but the other stop was if our new calls, the December 80 calls, if they traded down below $4 a contract, which is basically a little bit less than what our investment is in this trade, then I wanted to get out, protect what's left of my capital because it's just not working. So I closed it today, got out of 360. Not a total loss. Again, our total invested capital here was $8.70. We got out for 360, so not a total loss. We'll take it. But this trade just not working. It fooled us twice. So we're done. So we are out of Viking Therapeutics, ticker VKTX. Next we'll talk about some updated stops. We only have 2 updated stops to go through this week. Just kind of speaks to the market being pretty quiet last week, not much going on and coming into the holiday. So 2 stops we're updating. Coupang is one. We're long the February 25 calls we paid $2 for. Had a really nice rally yesterday, giving it a little bit back today, like most things in the market. But I like the way it traded yesterday. We are moving our stop now to 22, which kind of roughly corresponds with the low of this little pullback here. We don't want to see Coupang get back below 22. If it gets below 22, I'm out of the trade. Next up is AZN. Boy, not liking the action in AZN today. I moved my stop up before I knew what AZN was going to do today, but now I'm feeling pretty good about moving that stop up. We are now moving it to 82. We don't want to see AZN come all the way back down and below 82. If it closes below 82, that's my signal to pull the plug on the trade. That's it. It's not working anymore. Hopefully it'll be a manageable loss if that happens. Because it has been working. It was looking great, man. 4 days ago, look at this thing trading at 87. Our calls were in the money, looking great. Hoping this is an overreaction and we'll find some support here nearby, which I think we might. Fingers crossed. Anyway, that's all we have for updated stops. Next up, we'll go through a couple new trades that we've put on since we last spoke last week. Now, for those of you who are new here or first timers and not members of All Star Options, we publish detailed trading plans for every trade that we put on. So we talk about the setup and why we like it. We talk about the option strategy that we're going to employ to express our thesis. We talk about risk management levels, where we exit if we're wrong, where we may take profits or make adjustments if we're right. All those details are in detailed trading plans that you can find at allstarcharts.com. So please check that out. I have a link in the YouTube chat there. If you want to get involved, you could click that link and get involved in All Star Options. But again, all the detailed plans are there. So I'm not going to go into the details other than to tell you that for Equinox EQX, that's Equinox Gold, we got into a bullish position here at the end of August. So far, not working for us, but that's what we're betting. This is a bet on a secular move in the metals. My analyst team, the commodities traders here, like Equinox for a breakout. So maybe we're early. It's possible, but we are bullish EQX. And next up is IEF. This is the iShares 7 to 10 year Treasury bond ETF. We are bullish on bonds. We got into this trade yesterday. So far, we have a good start to this trade. We got a long way to go. But we have a bullish bet on in Treasury bonds. And again, Treasury bonds and gold, right? Two sectors that are not something that I trade a whole lot. Why am I trading in these sectors? Because I'm looking for portfolio diversification. Markets are getting a little dicey. If this week hasn't made it quite clear. I mean, if you would have told me last week before the holiday, if you would have asked me, which way am I leaning? Which way does the market feel like it's going to make its next 10% move? I would have told you, it feels to me the next 10% move is higher. Well, My tune is changing a little bit this week. I think the market is sending a different signal. It might just be, might just be because the traders are coming back to their desks and making up for lost time and repositioning. But I don't know. Feels like a change of character. I'm not going to sit here and say we're heading into a bear market and we're about to have a big collapse. I'm not saying that, but we do need to be aware of it. We do need to be aware of the possibility and be mindful of it and be prepared for it. All right, so guys, that's all I have for you here today. Again, short session because we don't have much to talk about, but here's the updated stops just as a reminder. I know some of you like taking screenshots of this. So there you go. Those are our updated stops. And again, if you have any questions about anything we talk about, I didn't see any questions come into the YouTube channel. But if you have any further questions, you think of them later on, hit me up with emails. Shoot an email to info@allstarcharts.com. Also, if you like the charts that I use here, my friends at TrendSpider hooked you up. If you would like to use the charts, you can go to trendspider.com and use promo code Sean50 and get 50% off a subscription plan for TrendSpider. Pretty sweet. All right, everybody. That's all I got for you. Have a great NFL kickoff weekend for those who partake. I'm a Bills fan. If it's not obvious, go Bills. This is the year, baby. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, have a great weekend, and we'll be back. I'll see you on the morning show, and I'll see you on the jam session next week. Take care, everybody.